Out the schools that are represented in the final. We see some wrestlers from the quote-unquote superpowers, but it's more spread out this year.
Matt, there were 25 schools represented this morning. That's a tremendous amount to be represented in the morning round. No one had more than 4, or a few schools had 3. No one has dominated Region 3 this year.
The quarterfinals were held last evening, the semifinals this morning, so in less than 24 hours, these wrestlers have gone through an awful emotional experience, a physical challenge. What has to happen? What do they have to do to get through the next 6 minutes?
Now there's the mental preparation, not just the athletic ability that they obviously have to be at this point. It's being ready when they take the mat. It's breaking a sweat. It's having that perspiration kind of be felt throughout the body so that they don't make the mistake in the first 30 seconds when they hit their feet on the mat. That's going to be the key for our finals.
All right, the wrestlers are being introduced to the crowd at hand here at Union High School. The Region 3 championships are just moments away. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back with the 103-pound bout right after this.
I'm pleased that he had the lead when it occurred, Matt. It wasn't an injury for someone when they were behind, but that lead was his to protect.
And he avenges his loss last week in the district championship and acquitted himself quite well this afternoon. All right, 135-pound bout. Mike Marcovecchio out of Scotch Plains and Mark Facciani of Del Barton. And this is one weight class where you kind of crumpled up the seats and threw everything out the window. An injury kind of threw things off to Mike Keller. Mike Keller was named the OW of the District 12 championships last week and hurt himself there and wisely held off until last night's quarterfinals. He felt with a little rest he might be able to get back, but just impossible to do so.
He threw all of the seedings away very rapidly on Friday night as far as this weight class was concerned. Marcovecchio having defeated the top seed. Again, Facciani coming out of that bottom bracket as third seed.
Marcovecchio, a junior, 22-6 this year for Scotch Plains. Facciani for Del Barton, 20-3. The Green Wave struggling this year at 3-13.
Marcovecchio, long, lanky. At times, Matt, I've watched him the last few years. He can put 2 or 3 minutes of wrestling together that are equal to anybody's 2 or 3 minutes in the tournament. And he has the tendency sometimes to still make a mistake that will sometimes take him out of the match. There's very little in between with Mike Marcovecchio. Facciani is just tough. He just keeps coming at you. Mark Facciani is a battler all the way. A lot of people felt he would come out of the bracket he was in to get to the finals, and he's done just that with a fall and a 16-7 victory. Marcovecchio with an 11-4, 10-3, and 4-2 overtime victory this morning. Facciani that's making the reaches in. It's the length of Marcovecchio that's allowing him to stay out on the side. Hard quarter Nelson on. Crowd imploring him to use it from Scotch Plains, not just to hold it. And he is prying it, and he pries him over, but outside of the circle.
Marcovecchio, a part of that very young Raider team. I think just 2 wrestlers graduate off a club that went 10-3-1 this year.
We've commented on the Roselle Parks and the Milburns this year and Cranford this year. There are a number of very fine young teams around.
5 seconds left in the first period. Looks like we're going to end it scoreless, and we will. Marcovecchio played on the Group 3 state championship squad at Scotch Plains, the soccer power that the Raiders are. Saw Lenny and Jim before. Len Zanowitz, longtime head coach on the left, and Jim Socken, his longtime assistant, on the right. And Jim retiring at the end of, I guess, the end of the calendar year, halfway through next year's school year.
And with on his record somewhere in the neighborhood of 320 junior varsity victories for Len Zanowitz. An outstanding achievement.
Jim was saying he's looking forward to heading out to Arizona. He's got a brother living out in the Tucson area.
Marcovecchio with a beautiful cradle and a tight cradle. Facciani attempting to get off the mat. Marcovecchio can work him back on, and we're seeing that happen. There are no points yet, but if he keeps that cradle and can clear the leg, he's going to have Facciani on his back for points. Facciani, a fine job of fighting it, but Marcovecchio, here comes the count. And if he can keep him there, it's going to be, here comes the fall, and there it is.
There it is.
2:35 for the fall.
And Marcovecchio, Mike Marcovecchio with the victory, advances as the 135-pound champion. And Jerry, as you said, when he's on, he's on.
And he was on today.
Picking,
Beautiful cradle, beautiful fall by a great champion today, Mike Marcovecchio.
well, we have an opportunity here to speak with a winner at 135 pounds out of Scotch Plains, the only pin so far, Mike Marcovecchio. Mike, congratulations on your victory. Tell us a little bit about the move.
Well, I tried to set up a far side cradle, and he stood up and turned into me, so I put into a near side. And I was pretty confident because that's one of my best moves, and I put him to his back and pinned him.
All right, now this fall you were part of a team that won a state championship in soccer for Scotch Plains. Now here you are as an individual winning a region championship. How do you compare a team championship and an individual honor?
Well, in wrestling, an individual, there's nowhere to hide. It's more one-on-one, and with the team you have so many people there, and I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just,
Two nice feelings,
yeah.
though. What kind of a workout schedule are you planning for the next couple of days?
I'm not really sure yet, but hopefully I can get to some of the other winners up to a town where maybe they have a bunch of the state qualifiers going, and maybe get a good workout with them.
All right, Mike, congratulations on your win today.
Thank you very much.
Mike Marcovecchio from Scotch Plains, a winner, picking up a fall at 235 over Mark Facciani. And we're at the 152-pound weight classification. Len Rothbard of Johnson Regional and Scott Soletto of Watchung Hills.